Absolutely. Now, it's public knowledge, obviously, about what happened with you and the situation with the book. So if you could choose not to answer it, if you don't want to, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, but would you like to address why you didn't want to return, if you will?
Well, sure, and I will address the question because it has come up before. I've talked about it in other interviews. It kind of goes back to what I was saying before. I got to a point where I realized that I didn't want to practice law again. And
right.
To that end, there was no point, if you will, in dealing with a suspension or anything else. I wanted to cut ties and move forward in my life. I could have spent a lot of money and a lot of energy and caused myself a lot of stress to contest the bar. And I could have taken it to court. I could have gone to the state Supreme Court. I could have gone to the Court of Appeals. I could have even gone to the U.S. Supreme Court. But to what end? To what end? Because I don't want to practice, to get a license to do something that I don't want to do anyway. I don't want to be a long-haul trucker. No, nothing against long-haul truckers. I don't want to do that. Why would I try to get a license to do that? So I looked at it the same way. And if I was telling anybody, why would you fight to keep a job that you're miserable at anyway? And so I had to kind of take a dose of my own medicine, so to speak, and say, this isn't worth it. I don't want any of this involvement. I want to break ties. I want to, if you recall, there was this 4-year suspension on the table that was all over the news. And my thought was, no, screw this. I want out. I want to get on with my life. I want to get on with the next phase of my life. And like when we talked about everything happening for a reason,
yes,
this fits just into that because I believe, even after the Arias trial and before the cancer diagnosis, I had serious reservations whether I wanted to practice law again. When I started to return to the practice of law, that's when cancer entered my life. And it just, to me, was more and more the universe saying to me, practicing law anymore is part of your history. It's not going to be part of your story moving forward because you've got other things to do. And writing and speaking and those things, those are the other things that I have to do. So, that's what I'm diving myself into rather than spending any energy and time in my day to fight for something that would be a victory of the ego and nothing more.